All right, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. This is a segment that is close to my heart. I'm very excited about it. We have New York Sun Works with us, and they're talking about greenifying our classrooms. And so, hi to Manuel Zamora, who's the Executive Director of New York Sun Works. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
And Kristen Rodriguez, who is the, hold your breath, the Greenhouse Support Team Area Manager. I get that? All right, very good.
Okay.
Manuela, let's just get started. Who is New York Sun Works, and why is it so important that you do the work that you do?
New York Sun Works is a not-for-profit organization that brings hydroponic farming technology into the public school classroom. So what we want to do is transform any classroom into a 21st century urban farm using commercial level technology to teach students about science, sustainability, and climate education through the lens of urban farming.
You know, it's so easy to say our job is to convert classrooms to green technology and bring all these wonderful projects in there. What goes into creating this in an urban classroom where the kids generally don't live near gardens or in open spaces necessarily, and you want to re-outfit a classroom? It costs money. I mean, there's all these things. What does it take to do even one classroom, and then we'll expand it and get the numbers a little bit?
Yes. So first, it takes to have a visionary principal or a passionate teacher to wanted to bring the program to the school. That's the key element. Then we partner with the school and guide them through the process and how to transform the space they have available into this wonderful 21st century farm. But most importantly, what it will become the new science lab.
And that
We
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
so we hold hands, we work together into the planning process, designing the space, but also giving them guidance on how to get the funding element, very important, and to bring in all the support that the program provides to the school. So not only what we just mentioned, the classroom and the systems and the technology, but also curriculum, year-long grade specific curriculum,
I'm
K
going to
through
be
12.
applauding at everything you do, if you don't mind. I just think it's
Uh,
so great.
and then teacher training. So we support the teachers on one-on-one offerings for the how to implement that curriculum, but also group professional learning opportunities for all of them. And then what Kristen is an expert on, providing the classroom support on a weekly basis.
Okay, we're going to get to Kristen in a second. For you, is it a hard sell? And look, I'm a journalist, so I'm taking names. I want to know the principals that are not open-minded for this. No, no, no.
Uh,
But is it a hard sell? Because we all
it-
understand
mm,
what school principals are going through to get the
exactly.
kids through the scores and the tests
Yes.
and
Yeah.
everything else, and then blow out part of your curriculum for this. Is it a hard sell?
Yeah, honestly, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
It's
Oh,
not.
okay.
It is. It is. It really goes with the educational philosophy about hands-on and project-based approach to learning. It is the philosophical approach of doing through experimentation, and therefore the seed to harvest really provides an opportunity for us to bring that into the classroom.
Well, one of you is very busy because the phone is ringing, and that's a good thing. Kristen, let's just talk about the children. What do they get out of it, and how do you reform a class, a curriculum, and a structure to include this so that everybody benefits? But what about the kids? What do they get out of this? My
Sure.
Bronx
Well,
children.
oh, so what the greenhouse support team does is we go in there and we train the teachers how to run the systems and do all the water quality testing, planning the rotation of the crops and harvesting, and then they implement that in the classroom, and the students get involved and they learn all of those techniques as well. And so they really enjoy, especially harvest time, because they've
Right.
gone through all the steps of giving the plants the nutrients, the required light, And yeah, so they get to do it from seed to harvest, and it's
My
very
goodness.
exciting for them.
I tell you, it's exciting for me to see those photographs as well. I have to say that my high school alma mater, DeWitt Clinton High School, has had a hydroponic farm. I mean, I don't know if it's a New York Sun Works project, but one of the things that they have told me is that they've fed their own students, their colleagues, because they produce enough food to serve it in the, like we just saw tomatoes there. Is that one of the goals? Is that you can really produce real food? And that's for
Well,
Chris.
that's one of the very exciting parts of the process. So not only the kids will go from seed to harvest and understand germination and what are the needs for a seed to thrive, and how they make sure those plants get what they need. And then, as Kristen mentioned, moving them to the systems, measuring water quality, access to light, access to temperature, etc., etc. So it's all exciting in the process of farming. And then the celebration part is really when the students harvest, and they grow literally hundreds of pounds of vegetables that can be distributed in the
Incredible.
communities. So they do eat everything they
It's
grow.
incredible. Kristen, do you see the children grow or change as a result of this? Now, I mentioned just beforehand, we all know that the kids have been looking at computer screens for 2 years. This is literally real life. But do you see growth and change in the kids as
I
they go through this?
Absolutely. I think the
How nice.
hands-on aspect is really important for them. And it's a different kind of classroom environment, so that they get the experience of growing the food, and maybe they were adverse to eating kale at the beginning, but then they've learned to like it. So an opportunity for them in like so many
Mhm.
facets.
Especially urban kids who, there's so many pressures and so many difficulties. And frankly, they don't see a lot of green space in that way. We've got like a very quick video that I do want to show of how this works. Then we're going to get back and we're going to talk about the funding piece. And then we're going to talk about the education piece to make sure teachers are also on board. So let's, if Anderson can roll the magic window, and let's just take a look. And Gary's going to report. While you can probably hear across the street from where I am, they're constructing something, and so you can hear that noise. Look at the difference of what's going on in the classroom versus what's going outside my Bronx window. Um, let's go back to you, Manuela, and now let's blow everybody's minds as if we haven't already done that. How many schools are involved? And I know that there was a press conference recently with the borough president. You added some. So
Correct.
let's get the scope of it, and then let's talk about money. But let's start with the scope of it first.
Yes, so we're very proud to be growing in the Bronx. The focus of this year is really expand our schools, our presence in the borough. We're present in the 5 boroughs, but we're focusing on the Bronx this year, while we continue working in the other boroughs. And we currently have 15 schools in the Bronx, and we're adding 20 more thanks to the
20 more.
support of thanks to the support of the borough president as well as other council members. So we're going to have 35 schools in the Bronx by the
35.
end of the summer.
I should have done the research to find out how many schools. So these are elementary and middle schools, or just elementary schools? Or what
There's
grades?
a mix of K through 12 schools.
K through
We do
12, so it's even
programs.
into high schools.
Yes, kindergarten to 12th grade. But I'm going to tell you more. Do you want to know how many schools we are in the 5 boroughs and some areas of New Jersey?
Let's go.
We're going to reach 250 this summer. So that is
Wow.
100,000 students around the
I
five
just think it's
boroughs.
wonderful. And the monies come from, you mentioned the borough president, these were all discretionary monies or
And
came budgetary
and
monies?
the major input for this Bronx expansion came from the Bronx Borough President. So many thanks to Vanessa Gibson for her support.
Great.
It's 1.7 million she added because it's not only the classroom, it's also improvement for the schools, technologies, computers, etc. So it not only she's not
Yes.
only investing in this specific program, but it goes beyond into the school community. And
You
then
know
we
what?
also have support from council members, the U.S.
Got
Department of
it.
Education, all sources. Yeah, that
Kristen, let's
Mhm.
just talk about the future. You know, we talk about us older folks, and we're sitting here. We've done what we've done, but now think about if the children have this in their heads as they get older, as they raise their own families, as they get jobs. This will definitely have some effect. Kristen, what about teachers? Hard to get them on board, or they just, thank goodness we have something for real. I mean, this would almost out of time. So do that, and then we'll ask Manuela one more question.
Sure. I think it's just as exciting for most of the teachers as well, to start using the systems and growing food. It's pretty refreshing, and it's a great introduction into talking about climate change and ways to grow food a little more sustainably in the future.
Right. And listen, it goes into biology. You can do numbers. I mean, there's a
Totally.
thousand things. This is just what education is and should be about. Manuela, what's next? Just keep expanding or keep working the programs? I mean, where we go from here?
Yes, well,
A
we've
green
established.
planet, that's where we go from here. But I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that's just me.
It's a lot of work to spend, and we're very proud of our team and what we're accomplishing in the five boroughs. The key element here is keeping the quality we're used to provide, and we're going to continue to be providing to the schools. So there's really quality of science education in every classroom. There is content on sustainability science, and there's climate education through our curriculum while the kids are growing this wonderful amount of delicious fresh vegetables in the classroom for their own communities.
You've checked literally all the boxes. I mean, yes, 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 yes. And real quick, anybody, we want educators to get excited. If they want to talk to you, if they say, I want this in my school, how do they get in touch with you? Just an email, a phone? What do we do?
Yes, so they can directly call to our office 212-757-7560, or they
Okay.
can email us at info@nysunworks.org.
Uh,
Or they can go to our website, nysunworks.org, and they'll find all the information as well as every content information they need.
got it.
We'll be happy to answer.
Got
We're
it.
used
We
to
we we
that.
we got to run. Manuela Zamora from New York Sun Works, Kristen Rodriguez from New York Sun Works. You're changing the world, and we need you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was
Thank
great
you.
being here today.
Great. We got to run. We'll see you next week. Good night.